What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Den, a Northwood High School sports podcast. My name is Cannon Blake. With me is my co-host,
Connor Sober.
and this will be a podcast covering everything Northwood athletic related, all sports, the games past and the future games ahead. So, just a little bit about us. I started the Northwood High School Sports Instagram page and Facebook page when I was a freshman, posting game day posts and highlights and so on and so forth. Connor, a little bit about you.
In eighth grade, I started coming to football games and taking pictures around the year for sporting events, and I had fun. So we're here still. We're doing it now. We're using pictures for this club. And
Yeah, this is a product of Around the Ville Club, a sports media club. Jumping straight into last week's action, the cross country team had three members go to region. Easton Houchins barely missing the cut by two spots. Ran very well, just barely missing on the brink of region. The three that made it were Channing Waddy, Jake Cook, and Lee Smith. Luckily, good news for the cross country team is every member will be returning next year. As Channing's a sophomore, Jake's a junior, Lee's a freshman, and Easton is also a sophomore. So, not losing anything, that'll be good for them, and things are going in the right direction. Of course, the three members are already qualifying for region. Um, Jumping into volleyball, the volleyball team ended up falling to Holston 3-2 in the district tournament last week. This game ended up going to 5 sets after Holston jumped out to a 2-0 lead. But bringing Northwood season to an end. After we kind of cut it together at the end of the season, kind of a disappointing season, but ended up getting it together near the end in district play. A lot of young. We're only losing one senior. We were turning nine, including seven upcoming juniors and two upcoming seniors. And of course, our JV team made it to the district championship. They ended up falling to Chilhowie, but that's the only district game they ended up losing all year. So a lot of upside for this volleyball team, a lot of potential, a lot of things to look forward to. Your thoughts, Connor?
yeah, this team is really young. I'd say. I mean, they tried to battle back against Holston, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, years to come are going to be bright. I'd say because I mean they're young. The JV team's good.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to with this volleyball team. Members like Channing, Ellie, Emma, so on and so forth are only sophomores, and they all play play quite a bit and play a pretty big role for this team. So the JV team, regular season Hoga district champs ended up going 10-0 in the district, but fell short to the Chilhowie in the district tournament. But something to hang their hats on, going 10-0 in the district in the regular season. Like I said, near the end of this season, the varsity team got it together, and I'm sure Coach Hunter will have this team plenty ready before next year, and they will end up going a lot further in the playoffs than they did this year. Jumping into football, the Panther football team ended up losing at Honaker in this one, a tough one, 48-30. Brett Garner contributed two rushing touchdowns, Brody Waddle with a touchdown, and Dalton Gates with a touchdown pass to Dominic Haynes. Defensively, Brody Waddle and Randy Kessner each snagged one interception. On the road against a pretty tough Honaker team whose record doesn't really show how good they are. A lot of short, quick passes, which Northwood hasn't really faced yet this year. Just a combination of things. Being on the road we just end up losing this one by 18. Brody Waddle has now eclipsed over 1,300 yards on the season to go along with 18 touchdowns.
As you said, Cannon, the Tigers kind of just killed Northwood all night with the little check down passes, screens, runs up the middle and stuff. But I said Northwood battled. I mean, that's the I'd say one of the closest games they've had with Honaker in a while. And so I mean, it's good to have a good game with a team that's kind of beat you the last couple of years. So I think going forward, Northwood, I think we'll be all right going into this game against Patrick Henry.
Yeah, and if things continue to look the way that they look right now, Northwood will be going back over to Honaker to play them in the first round of the playoffs. So knowing what they know now, kind of putting that in their back pocket, going over there again, maybe it's different. But I'd like to see that matchup again. Northwood, of course, needs to adjust to the pass, but besides that, I think they played a pretty good game overall. Um, 18-point loss to a team we usually get beat by 30, 40 points
Yeah.
isn't that bad. So, uh, not a bad outing, but rough loss. So, outlook on Region 1D, East Side is at number one with a 9-0 record. Chilhowie to follow with 8-1 record. Behind them is Rykov at 6-3. Honecker behind them at 5-4. Of course, Northwood at 6-3 behind Honecker, and to round it out, it's Holston and Twin Springs at 6-3, and then Roar Tree at 4-5. So the one plays the 8 seed, 2 plays the 7, 3 plays the 6, 4 plays the 5, and right now it'd be looking like if everything stays the same, Honecker would be playing Northwood again on the road against Honecker. Be a pretty rough game for the Panthers, but looking into this winter sports season, like you said, the boys basketball team makes the region for the first time in 4 years. Uh, girls basketball kind of on the come up. Wrestling had some state wrestlers last year, Gabe Fry and Dominic Haynes, and I believe Will Brown. So, all of our winter sports kind of looking good. Um, Something to look forward to. Um, Indoor track and field. This is the first time I believe Northwood has ever had a indoor track and field team. So, of course, our track team is pretty decent. So I'm sure this will be no exception, no difference. But everybody seems to be very involved. It seems like Northwood this year has undergone a lot of changes. Athletic wise, sports wise. What do you think contributes to that, Connor?
Well, we lost our principal and our vice principal and gained two new ones. We have Mr. Hipple from Chilhowie, and we have Miss Grinstead from Chilhowie, who have both done a terrific job in their roles this year.
Yeah. Miss Grinstead kind of bringing a lot of energy and enthusiasm over to Northwood. Kind of a culture shift in Northwood. I hate that it happens when I'm a senior, but she's helped us with this podcast and with this whole club. Basketball's getting new jerseys. Football got new jerseys. It seems like almost everything in Northwood is kind of looking up and looking bright. Just a complete culture reset at Northwood. New era, new traditions. Um, look everything, and I think our future is looking bright. Again, first time football team has made the playoffs in 10 years. I mean, almost everything in Northwood is just young and just looking good. So that will wrap it up for Inside of Den. Uh, Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next Wednesday.